Early years and education. Robert E. Lee was born into a prominent Virginia family in 1807. He showed early promise and excelled in his studies, earning a spot at the prestigious United States Military Academy at West Point. After 4 years of rigorous training, Lee graduated from West Point in 1829, ranking second in his class. This marked the beginning of his illustrious military career. Military career before the Civil War. Robert E. Lee began his military career as a U.S. Army engineer, graduating second in his class from West Point. He played a crucial role in various engineering projects, such as the construction of coastal defenses and the improvement of rivers and harbors. Lee's exceptional skills were recognized by his superiors, leading to his rapid promotion through the ranks. His accomplishments as a U.S. Army engineer laid the foundation for his future success as a military leader. The decision to join the Confederacy. As the secession crisis unfolded in the United States, Robert E. Lee found himself facing an agonizing choice. Despite his conflicted feelings about the institution of slavery, Lee ultimately felt a deep sense of loyalty to his home state of Virginia. When Virginia seceded from the Union in April 1861, Lee resigned from his position in the U.S. Army, a decision that would have far-reaching consequences. Lee was offered command of the Union Army by President Abraham Lincoln, but ultimately could not bring himself to take up arms against his fellow Southerners. Instead, he joined the Confederate cause, believing that he was fighting to defend his beloved Virginia and the principles of states' rights. This pivotal moment in Lee's life marked the beginning of his legendary military career as a Confederate commander. While he would go on to win some of the Confederacy's greatest victories on the battlefield, the decision to join the Confederacy would forever be overshadowed by the toll of the Civil War on the nation and Lee's own legacy. The Civil War years. During the Civil War years, Robert E. Lee commanded Confederate forces in several key military actions and battles. Lee's strategic brilliance was on full display during the Battle of Chancellorsville, where he defeated Union General Joseph Hooker despite being outnumbered. He also led the Confederate Army to victory at the Battle of Fredericksburg and the Battle of Second Bull Run. However, Lee faced significant challenges at the Battle of Gettysburg, resulting in a decisive loss for the Confederacy. Despite this setback, Lee's leadership and tactical skills solidified his reputation as a formidable commander during the Civil War years. Surrender at Appomattox. As the Civil War drew to a close, Robert E. Lee found himself faced with mounting pressure from Union forces. Despite his best efforts, the Confederate Army was pushed back and surrounded at Appomattox. With supplies running low and his men exhausted, Lee had no choice but to surrender to Ulysses S. Grant. The meeting between the two generals was solemn but respectful, as Grant offered generous terms of surrender. This marked the end of the Confederacy and the beginning of a new chapter in American history. Lee's decision to surrender was met with mixed emotions, as some saw him as a hero who had fought bravely for his beliefs, while others viewed him as a traitor. But regardless of where one stood, there was no denying the significance of this moment in shaping the future of the United States. Post-war life and legacy. In his later years, Robert E. Lee dedicated himself to educational reform, becoming the president of Washington College in Lexington, Virginia. Under his leadership, the college flourished, and Lee implemented several crucial reforms, including expanding the curriculum and focusing on character development. Lee's enduring legacy as a Confederate commander continued to shape American history long after his death. Despite his controversial role in the Civil War, Lee is still seen as a symbol of Southern pride and honor. His military tactics and leadership are still studied and admired by many, cementing his place in history as a skilled strategist and revered military figure. Additionally, his commitment to reconciliation and unity in the aftermath of the war continues to be a source of inspiration for many. Lee's impact on the educational system and his complex historical memory have left a lasting mark on American society.